Hey, welcome back to Sarge Streams. I'm Sarge, and I'm bringing music to the front lines to you guys today. And today we're doing Five Finger Death Punch, Wrong Side of Heaven. It is 7 minutes and 12 seconds, so it's going to be a long one. Buckle up. If you are new to the channel, welcome on in. Thank you for coming in. I truly do appreciate it. If you're returning from, previous videos, absolutely appreciate it. Guys, go check out the social media that I have. I have memberships, merch, all that good stuff. If you're interested, please go check all those out. But this is the only second time that we've ever done Five Finger Death Punch. I know they deal with veterans and veterans issues and things of that nature from what I understand, what the wife told me. Both me and my wife are veterans, by the way. I'm a Marine veteran. She's an Army veteran. So, we're going to check this out. Again, I'm not really familiar with them. The song I heard before, which was the House of the Rising Sun cover, it was the first thing I've heard from them. So if you've not, if you don't know what I've heard, now you do. So if you go to recommend more songs, please know that I've obviously done both of these, but I'm open for all sorts of suggestions because, again, I enjoyed that. I don't know what this is going to be about, but we're going to check it out. 7 minutes and 12 seconds. If you guys love them, please go over to their channel, Five Finger Death Punch's channel, show them some love, go to, the social medias, go to the merch or whatever they've got. Obviously, go to their channels and support them there. The music, obviously, if you can, there too, Apple Music, Spotify, the things that we normally say. And if you like my reactions, please do the same thing for me. Like, comment, share, and subscribe down below. Always trying to grow bigger with fans that love things that we love. I don't always get it right. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm some super expert, because I'm not. I'm just an ordinary guy that, was a veteran and then, has a musical background and also did some other stuff in life. It just is what it is. I'm not trying to sit here and pretend like, I'm a historian or, some person out there of any kind of, thing. All I'll say is this. Let's check this out together. Understand I'm a reaction channel. I'm going to stop and talk. So if you don't like that, please go see the original on your time without any of the hate. With that being said, let's jump into this. I'm excited. See what this is about. Are the ones willing to fight for you? I swore to defend you. I volunteered. I risked my life, so you don't have to. While you're watching this... Oh. Yeah. Sure is. I know that this is, okay, now I see what we're talking about here. I mean, like, look, I'm going to speak from a place of, personal stance on it. And yeah, there's a lot of people out there that need help. That's for sure. But definitely a lot of these veterans need help because, when you subject men and women into crazy, harsh conditions with crazy, harsh situations such as war. And this doesn't have to be just America. It can be anywhere, but we're talking about America. I mean, they come back, they're broken. They don't know how to function anymore because there's one thing that like when you go to boot camp, they rewire you, just you're different from the person you were. And then they continue to do that. And depending on how long you've been in, is the more of that training and thought and whatever. And sometimes you forget how to function. Like, how to survive, but you forget how to function in general because your mind's at war, man. Like this guy right here, I don't know anything about him. And if he's a veteran, the reason that he looks all disheveled and everything else is because this doesn't matter, because he's seen horrific things that you could put real thought to, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm sorry to do a rant on this already, but man, I do get this. I get this very well. I see it all the time. I've worked in VAs. In several different capacities, let alone be a veteran myself. I've also been a patient, in the VA hospital and their supposable help. So I can see why a lot of them have given up on that system as well and live in the streets, which sucks. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. Yep.
I spoke to God today, and she said that she's ashamed. What have I become? What have I done? I spoke to the devil today, and he swears he's not to blame. And I understood, 'cause I feel the same. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly care. I'm on the wrong side of heaven, and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven, and the righteous side of hell.
Wow, man. I mean, if you think about it, honestly. So, you get the, like I said, you got veterans and they get in these situations, where they've seen all this craziness and then, they return home. And a lot of people don't understand that because, in order to understand a lot of things, you kind of have to be in the situation yourself. You come back with that knowledge and trauma and burden and thoughts and everything else that happened to you, and then you come home and like a lot of veterans are spit on, they're talked down to, they're discarded, they're treated as a burden. Let's just call it that. They're treated as a burden because whatever, but like they surely wanted you there when certain things were going on then, when it comes to protecting freedoms. And again, this doesn't have to be America. Like, I know I have a lot of base across the world, and like, look, it's the same thing for your troops of people, maybe worse or better in certain situations, depending on what we're talking about. But like, this is what happens over here anyway. And I'll never get it, never understand it whatsoever. Like, again, I know there's a lot of people out there that love veterans and love what they do and whatever. And I know there's some shitbag veterans out there that the only time you ever see them is, go to the Golden Corral for your Veterans Day meal or whatever, and then they act super entitled sometimes, but that's every group of anything. There's 10% of everything, you know what I'm saying? But like the majority of it, yeah, you feel like an outcast, like honestly. All right, let's keep going, man. This is awesome though. I love it. Like the video. Yeah. That's the other thing. And I'm sorry to stop this so soon. That's the other thing. Like a lot of these veterans, they're away from family. It was just Christmas. There's so many people that weren't with their families and loved ones like they want to be, or they weren't, birthdays or watching their kids grow up or whatever. And then, life has passed them by. And then when they finally do get home, if they get home, this is the way they get treated. It's wild. All right, let's keep going.
And she sounded just like me. What have I done? And who have I become? I saw the devil today, and he looked a lot like me. I looked away. I turned away. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly care. I'm on the wrong side of heaven, and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven,
Woo.
and the righteous side of
Look, so I get the premise of this whole song so far, and it's talking about like, look, the veterans. Again, I know that most of you get this, but there's so many homeless veterans out there dealing with PTSD or mental health of some form, shape, or way because of the traumas, even, whatever out there that they face. And, a lot of the people, you'd see this guy screaming on the corner and think, oh, he's just some crazy homeless person, and just like disregard him and his life and how he even got there. But take a step back, because it could have been you, especially if you're another male You know, yes, there are female people in the military, obviously, but like when you think of it, I think it's pretty male dominated. It's changing now, but like, you know, I don't know. I just people are so easy to judge and disregard and walk on by a lot of times is what I'm getting at, and it makes me kind of sick.
I'm not defending, downward descending, falling further and further away, getting closer every day. I'm getting closer every day to the end. I'm getting closer every day. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero.
Amen to that.
Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell.
All right, so another thing I can tell you, because you're like, well, how qualify some of your statements, Sarge? Well, I can tell you, I live in Indiana, for those that don't know, or in the Midwest, and I can talk about our own personal VAs. I've worked there, and I've also been there because, you know, that's where you go to get your medical treatment, unless you have outside private insurance eventually or whatever. And so when I first got back, and then when I finally left government service, ultimately, you know, obviously they're who I kind of rely on. And I got to tell you, man, there are good people there. There are good people there, and there are people that remember. There really are. But the overall picture of the VA, it's garbage. It's fucking garbage. People treat you like crap. They're in a rush. Some of them don't understand, and the ones that do, they're just so numb to it. They don't care. Like they don't think sometimes, like our personal mental health ward that's up in Indianapolis, you know, they got chastised because they had those little elf on the shelves a couple years ago, of course, hanging from candy canes and or like they had a noose around its neck up in the mental health ward. You see what I'm saying? It's stuff like that, man. Like, I got a bunch of examples, but we'd be here all damn day. Okay? And that's just one of the examples, but this is what we're talking about. The stigma of mental health, and at the same time, dealing with veterans with those situations. And they're not all just mental health situations. Sometimes it's just financial and things of that nature. Of course, we get that. But a lot of it is mental health. And most of the people that you run into on a day-to-day basis are severely underqualified to even be able to try to attempt to help that. But any veteran that's suffering like that would truly appreciate somebody's friendly hand. I can tell you that for sure. No matter what you can or can't do for them, as far as you still tried to help. Just saying. All right, let's keep going. That's a long one, guys. Buckle in. Oh. In the time you're watching this video, a veteran somewhere took his own life. 22 a day. 22 a day, everyone. Nearly 5,000 veterans. Yes. Yes. One every 2 hours. I don't know how long this video is going to go. We're going to keep checking it here in a minute, but that's another thing, man. We have a problem here in America where it's 22 a day. There's foundations on it. There's whole organizations about it, etc. Because the mental health, again, that's what I'm trying to talk about. A lot of times it is mental health. It's not always that situation, but it, you know, sometimes there's other factors. But the reality to it is people are severely underqualified on how to deal with the returning veterans and then helping them get back on their feet and return to normalized life, per se. and then continue to check on them, because just because you got them in a new apartment and got them some new clothes and they're freshly showered, that doesn't mean everything up here is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like bandages, bullets, and all these other things, that type stuff, the logistics to it. You want to take care of them mentally, spiritually, physically, if you can. All right, let's keep going and see what happens. But yeah, that's why I left this on the screen. 1 every 2 hours. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we're just going to let this ride. Please reach out to any of these organizations if you want to help, if you want to give a veteran out there, man, woman, whatever, a little bit better of a life somehow. Maybe somebody will reach out. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but like, look, all these organizations are for things like that, and it's because of that problem that we have here. We're not necessarily looking to be heroes, okay? We're just people that need help because the things that we did in life, a lot of people didn't want to do. A lot of people couldn't do. Wow. Look how many there are. That should tell you everything that you need to know. Like, I realize I'm just talking over some credits here, but go check each and every one of these out, if you can, however you can help, because there's people in need. It doesn't matter if they're veterans or not. There's people in need, obviously, out there. But I just think that veterans should take some precedence sometimes. Semper Fi Fund, Silver Star Families of America. I've dealt with them personally, both of those. Battle Buddy. I've heard of that one. I haven't seen it. There's a lot of these organizations I've heard of. Obviously, the Marines, Veterans Advantage. Wow. I'm just making sure there's nothing. I don't want to miss anything on this. I want you guys to see it all. Wounded Warrior Project, I've helped out. I've donated to, been a part of, etc. for a while. That's it, man. That's it. Look, me and Jodes get it. That's why this channel's military themed, is because we're both military veterans, U.S. military veterans at that. And, yeah, it's music reactions, but I got to tell you, man, if you can help a veteran today, we truly would appreciate it. And again, we get it, and it sucks, man. It sucks. I love this song, though. So I like the direction we're going with Five Finger Death Punch. I'm going to tell you that right now. I love it. I hope you guys love it. If you do, please go over their channel, show them some love, go over to their music, and however else you can support them. And if you like my reactions to them or anybody else that you may have seen me with, please like, comment, share, and subscribe down below. But more importantly, please go out and help one of those veteran organizations, so maybe you can help somebody get on their feet today. We don't have the time to wait. It's every 2 hours. 22 a day. Yeah. With that being said, I've been Sarge. Eat well. Be safe. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Wow.